this morning. But how will all these cues impact our Indian markets? We have our research team joining in with us on our segment to talk about what the trade setup is looking at, what are the stocks to watch out for on Power Prep. So yes, good morning, gentlemen. And Hormaz, I'm going to start with you. How are we preparing for the day in terms of market cues? What are we watching out for today? Good morning.
Good morning, Vinny. And the tone continues to remain cautious as it was yesterday as well. And we saw a very big sell-off in yesterday's trading session, counting down to a lot of global events. The Nifty broke below a lot of key levels. First broke below that the series consolidation low in October, which was 24,073. Eventually, even broke below 24,000. When managed to defend 23,800 on the downside, that was the positive. Now it's down 9% from its record high levels which it made in September, but there was some recovery that was seen towards the close of the session. But what was weighing on the sentiment, of course, as I mentioned, multiple global cues, right? The outcome of the presidential polls, the Fed rate decision as well, and of course for our own domestic factors because of the multiple earnings downgrades that have come in from a lot of the market participants. That continues to weigh on sentiment as well, and that has resulted in the volatility index spiking because the VIX closed near levels of 17 in yesterday's trading session. What saved the day yesterday was a recovery in a lot of the PSU banks led by SBI, and a recovery in the IT index as well because the rupee hit a record low in yesterday's trading session. There was also some recovery in the auto names, but they continue to remain under pressure because most of these stocks have corrected at least 20 to 25% from their own record highs. What you need to watch out for today, of course, yesterday's low of 23,816 remains the key level to watch on the downside, and 24,000 on the upside continues to remain because a break below that level will accelerate the fall towards that 200 DMA that a lot of the analysts have been talking about. The Nifty Bank as well, 51,000 on the downside remains the key level to watch. It's the financial services expiry today, and of course results coming in from Dr. Reddy's, Titan, and a lot of the PSU names like Mazgaon Dock, GAIL, SJVN, and Oil India as well. So keep an eye out on some very important levels on the Nifty. For now, the GIFT Nifty is indicating a cautious start for our own markets as well.
Absolutely, a cautious start, a muted start is what we're watching out for. But let's move on. And Abhishek, which are the stocks that we should be keeping on our radar today? A lot of earnings candidate?
Well, a lot of earnings candidate, and a majority of them have actually disappointed. So to start with ABB, they reported their Q3 CY24 results. The revenue, EBITDA as well as net profit, all of them missed our poll. To begin with Q2 FY25 results, IRCTC, the revenue was up 7.2% YOY. However, the margins declined by 190 basis points on a YOY basis. Hence, the profit growth was just 4.5%. Gland Pharma, the revenue was up just 2.5%. YOY margin shrunk by almost 250 basis points over there, and net profit declined by 15.7% on a YOY basis. Amar Raja, the revenue was up 11.5% YOY. However, the margins have shrunk by 50 basis points on a year-on-year basis, and hence the net profit growth was just 6.3% YOY. PNG Health, the revenue growth was a mere 2.8% YOY. Margins have increased to 36.5% from 29% around that they had last time around, and hence the profits are up more than 25% on a YOY basis. Sundaram Financial, weak numbers over there. Disbursements have declined both YOY and quarter-on-quarter, and they have seen asset quality also deteriorate in Q2 versus Q1 numbers. Bata, the EBITDA is down 4% on a YOY basis. Margins have shrunk to 20.8% versus 22.2% in the same quarter last year, and hence the net profit is up 53% on a YOY basis. JK Paper, revenue is up 2%, but EBITDA is down more than 35% YOY. There's a huge margin shrink, so 15.7 versus 24.7% in the same quarter last year, and net profit is down nearly 58% YOY. Back to you.
Thank you so much for that, Abhishek. Keep an eye out on all the stocks. And finally, Sudarshan is here to tell us what are the important cues in the world of F&O this morning. Good morning, Sudarshan.
Good morning, Vinny. So amid heavy FI selling, we continue to see that market is closing with heavy cuts. All the frontline indices yesterday it closed with cuts of more than 1%, with mid-cap index, Nifty Bank or Sensex and Nifty, all these indices were down more than 1%. And for today also, GIFT Nifty is indicating a start with minor cuts. Now talking about institutional flows, FIs have sold more than rupees 4,300 crore. At the same time, DIs have bought almost rupees 3,000 crore. Even in the index futures, FIs have sold almost rupees 600 crore. And they have added long contracts of more than 9,000. But at the same time, they have added short contracts of almost 19,000. And with this long exposure of FIs, now is at 23.6%. But clients continue to add long positions, and now their long exposure stands at 66.3%. On the options front, 24,000 call has seen addition of nearly 32 lakh shares, and 24,100 call has seen addition of almost 24 lakh shares. And on the put side, 23,500 and 23,900 put were most active options. And with this support level for Nifty now seen below 24,000, that is 23,900, and resistance is now at 24,100. Lastly, three stocks that might be in focus. First one is Info Edge. We saw fresh longs building up, and two stocks, Hero MotoCorp and Bajaj Auto, that yesterday we saw fresh shorts were building up. So keep an eye on these stocks that might be in focus.
Okay, Sudarshan, thank you so much for that. But